All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Three Rivers Rundown, podcast number 17.
Woo!
We're championship weekend. Man, how we feeling? How we feeling?
Great.
Ready to go to war this
Great.
weekend.
Yes.
Absolutely. As always.
Yeah. Hey, for the viewers at home, can whoever has their phone on their desk, can you put it in your pocket, please? We hear buzzing. Thank you. But man, how was the weekend? How we feeling?
Good.
Well,
feeling good.
Unfortunate for me, I had this parlay running, and I was big on the Ravens all year. And I'm upset they lost, obviously, because that's our biggest rival, of course. But yeah, listen, my parlay right now looks fantastic. I had 3 other championship teams that are all favored to win it all in their respective sports. I just needed the Ravens to get it done, man. It would have paid like $170,000. Obviously, I needed 3 more teams, but
Still,
have been alive.
Yeah.
And they're all the favorites right now. That's the Celtics, the Oilers, and Duke.
You'll be pissed if that hits.
I hope it loses so bad.
Yeah,
I had
too.
I had a bad beat this weekend also. I was with the Exterminator, and he cooked up a parlay for the Sunday night game, Bills-Ravens, and I took it. It was like Ravens plus 3.5, Derrick Henry 80+ rushing, Justice Hill 25+ rushing receiving, and the over. I think he bought some points, so it was a little bit lower, but everything hit. It was off of a free bet, so I took all my winnings, and I was feeling good about the Ohio State game. So I took Ohio State, just like my weekly wagon, took a -8.5, and then I took under, but I bought points, and I was like, both are great defensive teams. I should be good. And that touchdown at the end of the game from Notre Dame, and then so the touchdown was fine. Then the 2-point play got it to 54. I had it under 54.5, so it was good. But Ohio State no longer covered the spread, so kind of
they ended up covering too.
Yeah, so it was like if they would have got the 2, I was in a weird spot where it's like if they would have got the 2-point conversion, I would have still covered the under, but I no longer covered the spread by a half a point. And then the field goal at the end would have made it the over. So
yeah,
it was just a bad beat. I was upset. Hey. But I will say, OH.
Yeah, listen.
OH, come on. Hey,
they got super hot at the right time. You got to give credit to Notre Dame. They were outmatched in that game, but they played their tails off. They did.
Another thing I want to say too is once that first drive happened, I was like, dude, my under looks so good.
Yeah, dude, they ate their whole first quarter.
I didn't see how that the under wasn't going to hit. It was the longest drive, or maybe not time-wise, but plays-wise. Most plays in a drive in college football championship history.
I believe
There's never been a national championship. They had 18 plays. In the first half, they ended with 25 plays.
Wow.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I didn't get home until like 8, maybe even close to a little bit after 8, I think. And Ohio State had just ran their first play on offense. So I mean, I missed a whole quarter of football almost, but it wasn't that much, which I was happy about. But I mean, ultimately, I thought it ended up being a pretty solid game overall.
Yeah. I would say
I was rooting for Ohio State too, Steph.
I will say it stinks for my bet, but as like a football fan, like you don't want anything more than that in a championship football game, especially if like it's not like your hometown team that you're like super diehard for. It's like you just want them to blow it out. But like as like just a normal football fan, it's like that's awesome to see in a championship game. Like comes down to the last drive. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
But
OH.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, I just wanted to say this too. I know mine and Josiah, she's upstairs right now, and she's super happy. Happy with Will Howard, happy with Jack Sawyer. So
love it, baby. Love it. For you, yeah.
They did it for her.
She's pumped.
Yeah. Real quick, too, before we move on, I saw something on Instagram today that I thought was hilarious. Did you guys see after they won, they were like underneath the field or something in like a golf cart and the lady crashed it.
Yeah.
That's so
Dude,
funny.
It looked like she broke like the axle on the
She
cart.
messed it up, dude. She messed it up.
It wasn't
bad.
driving anymore. They couldn't put it in reverse or anything. All the players,
snapped.
got out. Just went, no, screw this. We're out of here.
Yeah, I think it was Will Howard got off and was just like laughing. Like,
he was cracking up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan Day too, man. Listen,
Yeah.
he was on the brink of getting fired there after that Michigan game.
Yeah,
and they just, like I said, they got hot at the right time, man.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
They were dominant in the playoffs. Dominant.
I will say, I love that they expanded the playoffs because perfect example. I think what were they, the 7 and 8 seed in the national championship when a year ago they don't even make the playoffs.
Right. But they probably would have been in. They were both top 4 teams.
They weren't
they wouldn't have been in though.
You don't think
they weren't ranked?
They were 8.
7 and 8.
Yeah, but that's because the conference winner. Are you telling me Arizona State was better than those teams?
I'm not saying they were better. I'm not saying they were better by any means. I'm saying it came down to the midi.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, neither of those teams get in over Notre Dame and Ohio State.
I disagree with you totally. I don't think Ohio State would have got in.
No way, dude. There's no shot.
Dude, they're 100%. They wouldn't have got in. They wouldn't. Who would they put them over? They had 2 losses, and they didn't play in the Big 10.
It would have been either. Texas, Oregon, and them 2.
No way.
Who are you putting in other than Ohio
State?
Why
would they be above Penn State?
Okay, that's fair. Then maybe Ohio State might not have made it. Notre Dame, I think, would have at 14.
Notre Dame would have been close
for sure. I don't know. I don't even think it was close.
How many weeks of the season are there for college football?
14 maybe.
No,
13, 14. It's either 13 or 14.
Well, would
because I think Oregon was 13-0 when they played Ohio State.
12. There's 12. 13. Dom, you might be right because they get 2 buys.
Yeah.
Wait, so I think it is 14. I think it's 14 weeks. They play 12 games.
Yeah.
Some teams might play more.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, after week 14, or I guess we should go to week 15 maybe. Week 15, top 4 teams were Oregon, Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, then Georgia, then Ohio State. So Ohio State's still 6.
Now that being said, if one team was going to get in, it wouldn't have been Georgia. It would have been Ohio State because you got to remember what happened with last year with Florida State, Jordan Travis.
100%.
Carson Beck was out. They wouldn't have put them in there. It would have been Ohio State. But, I mean, honestly, they didn't fit. They didn't fit in because those 4 teams were for sure the top 4.
Yeah. Agreed.
But still, moral of the story is I like the expansion of the playoffs.
I love it. It's great.
You get more playoff football.
Dude, it's electric.
And I think Dom said it best too, is like Ohio State just got hot at the right time. Just think any team that makes the playoffs, they get hot at the right time. So,
Steph, you do. Good, Joe. Sorry.
I was going to say the Steelers won a Super Bowl from the 6th seed.
Yeah. It's like the Commanders this year.
Commanders this year on a little run here.
Yeah.
The Giants, they won as a wild card team when they beat
so. Yeah. Yep.
Just got hot at the right time.
Yep.
Steph, next year, you should try to go to the Michigan Ohio State game because I think that game is going to be even bigger than it's ever been. I think it's just a big game for. Obviously, I know Ryan Day's he's secure now, but he needs to beat them. He needs to beat them.
Yeah, he does.
I will say this. I love Ohio State. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan. If I have to say for college football, diehard, it's definitely Pitt. Ohio State and Bama is my 2 teams, but I've never been to an Ohio State game at all.
There we go. Even more of a reason.
Perfect.
Yeah. Hey,
perfect.
Maybe we make a trip out of this.
Dude, I never been to a game I've obviously been to Pitt games and West Virginia games, but I've never been to a big time game like that in my life.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Never been to an NBA game either. Really want to go to one of those.
Hey, let's do it next year. I'm also a Knicks fan. Let's go to Madison Square Garden.
I'm in.
New York, not that far away.
6 hours, not bad.
Yeah, me and Joe, we have a buddy there. We could probably talk to him, be like, hey, help us out here.
I'm a huge hotel guy. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a huge hotel guy.
You just love hotels?
I love hotels. Love them. I hope got to get one with a hot tub or a pool. Either one.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly content with. I don't know what it is. The vibe of hotels.
I think it's because you're away.
That could be
it.
You
know what I mean? It like gives out. It's like, all right, I'm not home. I'm somewhere else. Like I'm about to have fun.
Yeah.
Like you don't
exactly.
have work and stuff. Like
exactly. And the beds are usually super comfortable. That's
always.
That's one thing about hotels for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's cool, like being with your boys too. You know what I mean? Like you wake up, you can do whatever you want, just chill. You know.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Maybe next year, if we grow enough during the off season, maybe not this NBA season, maybe next NBA season.
I don't think I'm growing anymore, dude. I'm 27.
Yeah.
We have enough subscribers.
Oh,
we'll make some content there.
Wow. I'm down with that. But I just thought of something that I wanted to say earlier. Dom probably saw the coolest sporting event out of all of us. And it's not the UFC one in Vegas. Miami.
Oh, WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
That's kind of cool. I mean, especially back then when you went, that was when everyone was into it. Like
it was Cena versus The Rock too.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was sick. It was sick. I'm not gonna lie. That was, dude. I love the WWE to this day. Like, I don't watch it anywhere. Like, obviously, I watch UFC now, but if WWE's on and I'm not doing anything, I'm watching it.
Oh, well,
I'll put it on a couple times a year just to see a match or two.
It's so fun, dude.
You know what the beauty is now if you're ever bored, it's always on because it's on Netflix. You can go back and rewatch stuff. So
exactly.
You might start watching it a little bit more. You never know.
I just watched a premiere on Netflix. It was unbelievable.
But hey guys, let's start getting into the heat of the episode now with our last week's recap. We'll start off maybe on a sort of positive note. We're going to start off with our weekly wagons. Joe took Commanders plus 9.5. They won. I took Ohio State minus 8.5. That field goal at the end of the game meant a lot. I won. Dom, tough beat. You had Ravens minus 1.5. Didn't hit, but you rebounded with your touchdown score. You took Terry McLaurin. That hit. Me and Joe on the other side did not. Joe had A.J. Brown, who honestly, I don't know if he was playing or just on the side of the field reading. He didn't score. And then Nico Collins, that was my guy. He didn't do anything either. I'm going to wait to tell you our totals until after the Super Bowl. So we're going to wait on those ones.
Interesting.
But
someone might be closing the gap on me. That's what I'm feeling. That's what it must be.
I think I know who it is too.
And I don't think it's Dom.
But all right, guys, I want to get to the negative now. All right, so
the temperature outside's freaking cold.
Yeah, cold, massive cold front. It must be affecting us because last week we went 1-5 for our weekly pick'ems and playoffs. This week, we didn't do much better. We went 1 for 3. We got Chiefs over Texans right. We followed our hearts, went with Dom. Ravens lost, Bills won. We followed my heart with this one. Lions lost, Commanders won. And then I think we all just kind of don't want to see Philly win. So I think we're all kind of making excuses and convincing ourselves that teams can beat them. But they went in and beat the Rams. It was just an ugly game because of the snow. I think if it wasn't snowing, I think it could have been a very different game. Because I think
they came back though. They were
they
were
did
down
come back
14 or whatever, 13.
I think without snow, I do think the Rams could have taken that game because I think they're more of a passing team when that just fed into right what the Eagles do. They ground and pound you. So
sure do.
But
so you're saying how it's negative. So we went 1-5 and then 1-3, right?
Yes.
The first week, who was the one? Who did we get right?
I think it was the Bills.
It was the Bills. Okay. Then we went 1-3 the next week. Who did we get right? You're right. The Bills again.
No, we got the Chiefs. We got the Chiefs. We said Ravens. We go with Dom.
Dadgummit.
You actually picked the Ravens, Joe. Like you actually, I think you wanted them regardless.
No, I didn't. The Bills are winning the Super Bowl.
I'm pretty sure me and Joe were both like Bills, but because that was your weekly wagon, we said
Here we go. Here we go.
That's what it was. That's what it is. What do you mean?
Time out. Time out. Whoa. Listen,
that's hogwash. That's hogwash.
This is the only reason why I'm saying that I know me and Joe wanted the Bills is when we did the weekly pick'ems for round 1. We did the full entire bracket, and we had Bills going and winning the whole thing. So that's how you know we liked them.
Like a made-up story, but that's all right. I
fucking love them, dude. I've been saying it for weeks now.
Yeah, but you
the
also
Bills
said the Packers
are going to break the curse. No, I said the Packers were going to make it.
There he goes. Here he goes.
I never said it. I never said they were going to win the Super Bowl. I said the Packers were going to make a deep playoff run. And I said that I like the Bills to win the Super Bowl.
So this is all I'm hearing is we have to go Chiefs this week because Joe said Packers deep run. They didn't have a deep run. Now he's saying Bills Super Bowl. They're not winning the Super Bowl now.
They're done. They're done.
Yeah, they might win this week.
They're not.
But they ain't winning the Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Steph. Run my numbers on the bets here. Why do you do that?
Easy. But all right. So we're 2-8 in playoff weekly pick'ems, but I think we're going to turn it around and kind of strong. I think we go perfect rest of the season.
Wow, here he goes. I love this.
That's saying. I feel.
I like this guy. I like this guy.
As long as we pick the Bills, we'll definitely go perfect.
With that being said, we're getting right into our weekly wagon. Joe, lead it off.
Okay, I'm not actually going the Bills. And that's like, I'm going Bills money line. Give me Josh Allen in Arrowhead. Let's go. Bills are breaking the curse this year. They're winning the Super Bowl. Book it.
Wow.
Book it.
That's intense. And Dom, yours kind of feeds off of his. What do you got for us?
So the problem is when I took this bet, I actually didn't check the weather. So now I'm thinking in my head, is it actually a good bet? It could be a terrible bet. It could be snowing all day. I don't know, but I just know
right now.
Nope, I'm not going to change it because I love these two quarterbacks. I think they're the 1 and 2 quarterback in the league. I think there's going to be points in this game. It also could be a 13-17 game. I don't know. I just think these quarterbacks are going to sling it around. These are two rivals. You know, the last couple times they played, it went over this mark. So I am taking the over 47.5 with the Chiefs and the Bills.
Okay. I will say it seems like every time these two teams play, it's a movie. So I don't think it's going to be low scoring. I think
it'll be 31-17. Josh Allen
win by half point.
Wow. Josh Allen declares himself as his own team now, I guess.
Well, yeah.
But
that's
It is. What do you
mean? It really is.
Name someone else.
I personally didn't tell you what my weekly wagon was because I'm doing something that I've had some time to digest and think.
I know.
And I know where he's going with this.
People who were here last week, and I quote, I said, if the Commanders beat the Lions, I will not be on this week's episode.
He said it.
If the Commanders win this week, I wouldn't be on until they lose. So if they won the Super Bowl, I would not be on a podcast until the next time they lost a game. But I got to thinking. My Ohio State Buckeyes won. My moods were lifted. I had a championship team that I was rooting for that won.
Okay.
And then I got to think, they were right last week. Yes, Terry and Jaden Daniels both let me down. But you guys were 100% right. I got there because of them. So I can't stay too mad. So with this one, wow.
What's he doing, Joe? Joe, what's he doing?
I'm going Commanders.
Wow, look at this guy.
Commanders money line.
Look at this.
Well done. Well done.
That's
cinema.
I just want to say for all of our viewers,
beautiful shit.
That growth is a real thing. And before you go online talking nonsense and hating on people, sit back and think about what you're saying because it could affect people. Like Terry McLaurin came and DM'd us. And he said he watched the app and he was kind of upset. He thought he put in enough work that like I would not be as mad of him. Like he understood, like, hey, championship. Like he's like, my bad. It's not gonna happen again. Like, I want you to draft me again. I'll redeem myself. So Terry, if you're watching this again, thank you. Appreciate the DM. If you guys want to DM us, go for it. We're always happy to answer.
Round for Terry, real quick. Thanks for DMing Terry.
And I will say that's a big reason why it changed too, is because even though I absolutely slandered him and his whole team, he was a very classy guy. So
yeah,
because of that, we're going right into our TD parlay.
Look at this guy.
I'm going Terry McLaurin. Wow. Terry McLaurin.
What a shakeup, man.
Shit.
I personally wasn't expecting this. This is all shock to me.
Listen, because that DM, it made me confident again. It made me confident again. I was watching the game. That screen pass he caught, you know what? For freaking 15 weeks of the season, I watched him do that. And just because he didn't do it for 1 week, I'm going to forget about him? No.
I try to tell you this, man.
He's doing it again this week.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin scoring a touchdown.
Wow.
I
love it.
I'm glad that you saw what Dom and I were trying to paint the picture of last week.
And we're happy you're on the pod.
Proud of you. We're happy you're on the pod this week. And I cannot be more excited to see the Commanders beat the Eagles this week.
I would personally love to see them in the Super Bowl.
And I would love to see Terry McLaurin score and Zach Ertz. I think Jaden Daniels is a rising star in this league, and I don't think it's just because of his legs. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's poised. He makes plays, man. His scrambling ability is up there with the best of them, and he can make throws on the run. Guy's got a great arm, pretty accurate too. I love the guy. So that's why I think he's going to pass for 2 touchdowns this week. Zach Ertz and Terry McLaurin. Thank you, Steph.
Wow. I like it. And I will say this too about Zach Ertz, because I feel like you kind of were shining Jaden Daniels there more than Zach Ertz. But Zach Ertz, he's been really, really good.
Against his former team, too. Former team.
That's exactly what it is. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exciting.
Well, and I just realized that we have 3 TD scores in the same game.
It's fine.
So now I'm like, hey, you know what, though? This is one of those games that can also be a shootout, right? Now, I am going with a guy who I watched last week, looked absolutely pathetic. It seemed like he didn't even want to be there, to be honest. And I believe, Steph, that we traded TD scores last week and this week because I had Terry McLaurin. And I think Joe had your guy. I'm sorry. Okay, well, Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. So I am going with A.J. Brown. I think they're going to let him get loose early. I'm not saying he's going to score early, but I think this is one of those games that he bounces back. He has about 7 or 8 catches, about 80, 90 yards, and he will find the end zone this week.
I like it.
I just think it's going to be a bounce back game for him. That's all I can say.
I will say, Dom, I heard he was behind for his AR points. So during the game, he was trying to get some reading done to take the test and get some points.
Yeah.
And I heard he's caught up on his points, so he's good now.
Gotcha.
So,
good.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, AR, accelerated reader, you should all know. If not, I'm worried about you.
Oh, wait. This is totally
off. About it. We're either too old or we're too young. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of them.
This is kind of totally off.
Maybe just right.
Yeah. This is completely off topic, but did you guys see that Jaden Daniels trains with that VR system?
Yeah.
Did you guys see, it's literally he pretty much told teams on draft days that this is how he trains. He wants a VR system in the facility or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's he has it at the highest level, the fastest people can move. And apparently obviously it's working. Look what he's doing. He could have been MVP possibly this year, at least top 5, but
Yeah,
I think I saw that too, Dom. I think he said that they speed it up too.
Yeah, it's at the highest level.
Yeah, it's quicker than what game speed even is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that a lot because I feel like it's been for how many years now? I know for baseball training, there's a lot of hitters who they'll put on VR and you could pick a pitcher and you can just see how their pitches come in. You could train with how their arm angle is and everything. And it's no wear and tear on your body. It's all just mental stuff.
Right.
You don't even realize, especially in a game like football, baseball, everything happens so quick. but it's like, oh, like maybe in baseball, it's like you notice it's like when this pitcher, instead of his arm angles here, it's like kind of to the side. It's like that's a curveball. It's like, that's all fine and dandy, but if you only see it maybe 6 pitches on average at bat, if that's a lot, you're never going to catch on to that. But if you're going into a game and you've seen 700, 800 pitches from them, that might be extreme. But now all of a sudden it's like, that's just like, oh, this is a slider, this is a curveball.
So I can't believe they have the technology to do that. Like that is so insane to me how they have like the way the ball is coming in and like the form of the pitch, like
how many spins the ball does.
Right, dude. It's
from
insane.
The hand to the glove, dude. It's crazy.
I think we probably all saw like the same post why we're talking about this, but did you guys also see it was the company that made it, that Jaden Daniels uses it? It was a company that made it for soccer, and it failed as soccer. And the head coach for LSU saw it, and he's like, I think that could help us. Talk to them. They developed it for football, and then that became an LSU standard. And like you guys said, when Jaden Daniels was going through a draft process, he pretty much said, like, whichever team drafts me, like, you have to adopt this. Like, this was big.
Yeah.
And it was like the game where it's like mattered most for him to get Heisman. He didn't practice the whole entire week, and then he went for like 450 total yards, like 5 touchdowns or something, just because all week he was just doing the VR stuff. So he was mentally ready.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd probably be so fun to do too, like just as an activity. Like if that was in your basement of your house, like, dude, I'd do it every day.
So I will say this, Joe, he's done it at my house. I have that Oculus. And
wow, I didn't know.
I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's a little different, but it's Lamar's football game. It's called Pro Era, where you're literally the quarterback of your team, and like you're in a locker room, you go press start a game, you're the quarterback. Like I don't think you have it for any other positions. You're just a quarterback, but it's like you're sitting on the sideline watching your defense. You can walk up and down the sideline. You have a tablet in your hand that like tells you each play. You can like sim to when you're in the game. Like you hear the crowd. Like I'm like looking around, like pumping people up. This is James Daniels. He's my crutch. I'm always up in his face screaming at him. Like, he's gotta watch her, man.
What was Joey's stat line when he did it?
I stunk at it. I'll admit that. I was bad.
I don't think like for me.
It was kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not NFL speed. It's slowed down a lot more than NFL speed. But I think the hardest part of the game is throwing the ball. Like how you have to do your arm angle and you have to let go of the button at the perfect time. Like I make the right reads. I just can't make the throws. Like it's crazy.
I gotta try this. I gotta come over.
It's pretty tough.
I'm a scrambling quarterback.
You're gonna hate it.
I'm a scrambling quarterback. You know what would actually be funny is we can streamcast it or even record, so like I can see what you're seeing on my phone, record it and throw it out on YouTube, and we'll see
Paul Messine just throwing dots everywhere, just throwing dots.
Wow. We each have one game, and we see who has the most yards and touchdowns.
I love it. I'm in.
That'd be funny.
100%. That would be hilarious.
But all right, guys,
get some booze in us too while doing it.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I gotta pull this up real quick. Sorry about that. We have our weekly pick'ems, second to last one of the season. Kind of sad.
That is kind of sad.
But here we go. See, this was our original bracket. See, we have Bills winning.
That's what I'm saying.
We actually had the Chargers beating the Texans and Bills beating the Chargers. Then we had Bills over Chiefs. But who knows what could happen? Can wait? Who? I think I let it off last week. Joe was second. Dom finished. So let's slide Joe to the 1, Dom to the 2, and I'll go last.
Sounds good.
All right.
Well, I mean, we both have our weekly wagons on opposite sides. So
that is true.
What would we be voting for?
Well, just in case somebody else has another opinion. Like, I don't know if Dom sold on the Bills or whatnot.
He would be correct with that.
So, go ahead, Joe. Read it off.
All right. Bills.
Listen, this is so weird to me how nobody's like talking about the Chiefs and how like they had a bad year, this and that. I mean, they were 15-1. They're 15-2 because they sat all their starters the last game of the year. And on top of it, Arrowhead's the hardest place to play in the entire National Football League. So I never, ever, ever bet against 15. I never do, and I will not do it this weekend. I am taking Kansas City.
So I'm kind of on
Should have took the Bills last week.
I will say I'm kind of on the same process as Dom. I do not like betting against 15, but I might hate betting against 17 more this season.
Way worse.
That's what I mean. That's
the Bills, and this is my reasoning why is yes, you said they only had 2 losses. One was the last week of the season, but you didn't mention how many 1-score victories they had where something crazy happened. Like they're an Isaiah Likely centimeter away from losing that game. They're a doink away from losing that game. They're this. So it's
part
like
of the game.
Yes, they're winning, but I also think the Bills make a difference there. So I'm taking the Bills. I just think they're the team this year. So that's why
it's going to be extremely hard for Buffalo to beat Kansas City twice in 1 year, and the second game being in Arrowhead.
Yeah,
but because that's their only loss this year. Outside of the Week 17 or Week 18 game, that's who their loss was to Buffalo.
But it can be done.
It can be done, but I don't see it. I think Kansas City's going to get there again.
It can be done. All right, Joe. Commanders, Eagles.
Commanders. I ride with my boys.
Yep.
All right, I'm going Eagles.
Perfect.
Obviously, Commanders.
I love how it was all quiet. Nobody just like.
They're riding.
I knew what it was.
Just so this is on record here, I would have took Philly, but I would not bet against you, Steph. So.
Well, that doesn't make me feel any better.
That makes me feel way better.
Pretty much.
He likes Kansas City and Philly?
True. Pretty much. Wait a minute. Yeah, wait. Dom, he's Mr. Noble. He goes, I'd never go against you. Hey, Joe, I'm going Chiefs, though.
Yeah.
I don't like Buffalo. I love Josh Allen. I just don't like Buffalo fan. I will not be rooting for Buffalo. So
okay.
I don't have it.
Why though?
I will say
I'm in a group message with a bunch of Buffalo kids. I cannot stand them. I can't.
I will say I don't.
Sorry. How does that skew who you root for?
Because Joe, if you're in this group message,
who do you think's going to win? So you're saying you think?
Well, I do think Kansas. I do think Kansas. No. I do think Kansas City's going to win. I do think that. But if I didn't have this hatred towards Buffalo, I would have rode Buffalo with you. But because I don't like Buffalo, I do like Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen. I don't like their fans. For some reason, I don't like the other players on the team. There's something about it. It just throws me off. I can't answer.
Who don't you like?
I don't know. I just don't like Keon Coleman. I actually do like Shakir too. I shouldn't say that. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the team. I just I don't know what it is.
That good.
I've been to Buffalo twice now, and their fans just annoyed me. The first one I went to, granted, maybe I deserved it wearing a Brady jersey, but it's like a thing there, I guess. They get like gallon milk jugs and throw a bunch of quarters in it and just shake it the whole game. It's like, dude, is this a high school football game or we like an NFL game? I think their stadium is very, very low class. Like, it just seems like a high school stadium. Like, it just wasn't that nice to me. Buffalo itself. Listen, I feel like I'm slandering Buffalo, but they deserve this. Buffalo itself, I thought was absolutely miserable. Like, there's like nothing to do in Buffalo. Then the second time I went, we had a group of these girls in front of us that didn't know anything about football. This was for a Steeler game. They're just sitting around turning and chirping at us and everything. And it was actually funny. At the end of the game, my cousin, he was asked by one of the girls, like, oh, can you take a photo of our group? And he was like, yeah, sure. So she gives him his phone and they all start posing. And he like taps my dad with his elbow. My dad turns and he has the camera out and he's just taking selfies. And they think he's taking photos of them. He just took a bunch of selfies, gave the phone back. But moral of the story is I don't like Buffalo fans either. Don't like them.
And I find it crazy that the Bills beat Dom's Super Bowl winners, and then he's not going with them this week.
Nope.
It's just
I think Baltimore should have won the game. I mean, Mark Andrews dropped the ball in his hands.
I forget how how they explained this in the post, But it said it's like Kansas City, Buffalo, and the Ravens are like rock, papers, and scissors. It's like one team can beat this team, another team can beat this team, another team can beat this team. I forget how they had it set up and explained it, but I was like, oh, that's kind of funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Like it's,
no, I get that, Joe.
Buffalo beats Ravens, Ravens beats Chiefs, Chiefs beat Buffalo. It was like they were saying it's like the circle.
Yeah. No, they definitely lost the game. I'm not saying they didn't, but I'm just saying I think they should have won the game. If Mark Andrews catches that ball, goes to overtime, I like Baltimore's chances. I don't know why. Just do.
In Buffalo, though.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I think Baltimore's really good. The Mars had 2 costly turnovers.
I did too.
Did you guys see the tweet from the one fan on that drive where they went for 2? A fan tweeted out, he was like, I just know they're going to score a touchdown and Mark Andrews is going to drop the 2-point conversion. 4 minutes later, the NFL tweeted, Lamar Jackson touchdown to Isaiah Likely, and then Mark Andrews dropped it.
That's hilarious, dude.
That's crazy.
But all right, guys, we're at 35 minutes. Is there anything in particular you guys want to talk about, or?
I mean, I feel like we've exhausted every football game over the last century and a half throughout the season.
I will do this until February 1st hits, or I think it's the day, February 1st. Yeah, until your cousin fights Jack. Shout out to him.
JR, it's not Jack.
I say
again.
Jack every time.
Ninth
Jack,
time. That's 9, folks.
9.
JR, I do this every time, and I'm sorry. It's stuck in my head. But
he was actually kind of mad about it. He was kind of mad about it.
And I totally apologize for it. I know he'll kick my ass. I'm just here to support him. And I want, if there's a stream, if we want to, connect it to our YouTube channel, whatever it is, or whatever.
That's illegal.
is there like a stream that you can like?
We'll drop the link to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant we live stream it. I was like,
no. Like, no, not live stream it. Just if there's a chance,
yeah.
If there's a broadcast going on or something, you can click the link and they can join.
Yeah, in the show notes of this episode, just look down. We'll have the link for where you can watch it, and then if you're in the Pittsburgh area, we'll give you a link to where if you want to buy a ticket. Just make sure whenever you buy your tickets, or stream, the only thing we ask is when it says like, what fighter are you like here to watch or something? Just put John Rocco or JR Cazales, and it helps them out.
With a K.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Is there a way we can maybe put the promo thing up?
Yeah, we'll get it up, and it's gonna pop up in 3, 2, 1.
I love to watch him fight. He's incredible.
The way he breaks you down, it's good, man. He's good. So good.
He is one of the toughest human beings on the planet. Seriously, you have to start putting him up there at GOAT status.
Here is J.R. Cazales.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh.
Big guy JR, man, he's tough.
I said so, I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood, so ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still.
And judge number 3 scores it 29-28 for your winner by split decision. J.R. Cazales.
Shit. That's not the promo. Here it is. Here it is. We're good. All right, it's up.
Wait, what? I'm confused. I could be more confused.
I'm gonna put it in post.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna come up on the screen.
Tom's looking on the screen.
I'm like, dude, what am I missing?
Oh God.
All right, 1 second. I'm gonna cut all that.
No, I want it to stay on. I want people.
You want it to stay on. That you don't know what post is.
Mm-hmm.
You thought all of magic happens now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Leave it on.
All right, but with that, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is back. better than ever. We're going. It was a rough 12 hours. I have multiple messages from Dom saying he doesn't know what to do now. He cried a little. He sent me and Joe a photo of him butt naked in the shower, just bawling his eyes out. It was that was kind of weird, but
yeah.
I
don't know why you took it from the floor either.
I don't. I wanted to make sure you saw all angles.
Yeah. I wish I did. I wish
just my body.
But all right, guys. With that being said, we're out of here. Peace.